Look, this is my channel. I can say what I want. So why am I still filled with trepidation at the thought of the upcoming video? Yes, let's talk about Doctor Who. Hi, Time Lords. Okay, so like I said, this video is a little bit about Doctor Who, but it's nothing huge. I'm not even going to talk about what I thought of the recent episodes. The second one dropped last night. I've got to be careful what I'm saying because of the big properties, Marvel, Star Wars, and Doctor Who. Instant flame war down in the comments and anywhere. Basically, you're not allowed to have an opinion that goes against the majority. But then again, even if you've got an opinion that goes with the majority, someone's going to go against you anyway. I know a lot of people who completely hate Doctor Who, never got into it. I know a lot of people who love Doctor Who madly. And I know a lot of people who used to love Doctor Who, but now don't want anything to do with it. I don't fall into any of those camps. I'm an old school Doctor Who fan, I guess, being old. And I tend to prefer classic Who as opposed to new Who. But I will say my two favourite Doctors are Tom Baker. Am I doing it in the right place this time? Usually I do it there. Let's do it there. Tom Baker and David Tennant, both absolutely top of their game. And I think that's the general consensus, right? Now, the reason I'm doing a video is because a friend of mine, Dr. Mad Studio, who follows me on this channel, did a short video a couple of days ago saying why I don't watch Doctor Who anymore, which is fair enough. Like I say, I know people who don't watch Doctor Who anymore, and he gave his reasons, etc. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice or interesting for me to kind of try and explain to you and to myself, like I have to explain to you, why I'm still watching Doctor Who. So I think that Doctor Who has changed a great deal. Even if we look at the 20-year run from 2005 to this year, Russell T Davies, Stephen Moffat, Chris Chibnall, and back to Russell T Davies, Doctor Who has changed greatly. I mean, it changed when Russell T Davies took over in 2005. And interestingly, I went back and watched the 1996 Paul McGann movie, which was the sort of American pilot. And you can see a lot of that DNA from that pilot, which a lot of fans hated at the time. Motorbike chase, Doctor kissing someone, new TARDIS interior. A lot of that has filtered through, and it all kind of fits. Anyway, Doctor Who has changed a great deal, and it's changed in ways that I'm not in love with. And it's nothing to do with me being a racist, homophobe, a transphobe, anti-woke, or whatever it is. If you know anything about me, you know I'm probably very, very politically correct. I'm not far right, I'm not far left, I'm probably left-leaning, but let's not go too far into politics. Basically, what I want to say is I fell out of Doctor Who, I fell out of love with Doctor Who in the late 80s for quite a while. Why? Because I grew up with John Pertwee, Tom Baker, Peter Davison, and then when we got to Colin Baker, his character was written as being initially abrasive and a bit more mysterious and not very nice, but the whole arc was he was supposed to get nicer over time, just like they did with Peter Capaldi, except Peter Capaldi got the chance to do that. Colin didn't. So it's not really Colin's fault. Ratings went down. Also, at the time, in the mid-80s, I discovered alcohol and ladies. So I wasn't at home to watch Doctor Who very much, so it kind of drifted away from my field of vision, as it were. Now, Doctor Who has been doing that for me recently. I love Matt Smith. I think Matt Smith is phenomenal. I quite like Peter Capaldi, though I didn't like him at the start because he was, again, being very obnoxious to people. I really don't like the character of River Song. I think she was a great idea, but used her too much. You know, she kept coming back too much. Karen Gillan is absolute star. Amy Pond is fantastic. But again, because I'm not in love with the way Doctor Who is at the moment, from like Chris Chibnall's run to RTD2 as they call it, am I going to stop watching it? No. Why? Well, the first thing could be this. See what I did there? See what I did there? Stockholm syndrome. It maybe it's a force of habit. I will always watch it at some point. By the way, I don't watch live TV anymore. I don't own a TV. I don't have a TV license. I find ways of watching it that don't involve me encroaching on the BBC. Anyway, I am an old school Doctor Who fan, as you can probably tell. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. That's not old school. That's David Tennant, isn't it? But I've got 4 TARDISes in the house. I've got 4 actual different sized TARDISes in the house. I'm currently making, if you can see them. No, it's around the corner. You can just about see the white things there. That's the beginnings of 4 full-size K9s. I'll be making out of cardboard. Anyway, I am an old school Doctor Who fan, and I like the formula, the general formula for Doctor Who. If for example, I was given the chance to run Doctor Who as a, sorry, I've got to keep shifting over because of graphics. If I was given the chance to run Doctor Who for a while, I would certainly be writing what I feel is Doctor Who, and it would return to a certain formula, which is mostly seen in the many, many years of classic Doctor Who. Some people would love that. Some people would absolutely hate it. It's nothing to do with the Doctor being non-white. It's nothing to do with the Doctor being non-straight. It's nothing to do with the Doctor being a female or not a female. It's just certain things work better. In my opinion, this is all my opinion. And this is the problem with, especially with talking about it on YouTube. Last time I talked about Doctor Who, I got a thumbs down, not because of what I said, but because somebody in the comments said something that went against someone else's comment. And as a result, that person got so annoyed, they gave my video a thumbs down, and I didn't even say anything. People get very, very emotional about it. And look, your opinion is equally as valid as mine. If you say I'm wrong, great. If you say, if I say you're wrong, great. There's nothing we can do about it. We could probably talk about it and maybe come to a kind of halfway house or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just entertainment, right? It's not life or death. And enjoy what you can out of it. But at the same time, I will always try and be true to myself and like what I like and just not like what I don't like. But I do not want to class myself as a hater and go online and completely rip into things I don't like. Life's too short. I'm getting old. Life's too short to be spending time talking about stuff you hate. Right now, I know this video is like, you've been talking about how you've fallen out of love with Doctor Who. Yes, but oh my goodness, we're on 8 minutes already. All right, I'll wind this up. All I'm saying is, enjoy what you like about it. I keep watching Doctor Who because A, I've watched it since I was a kid. B, I live in hope. I want it to be good. I really do want it to be good. If it doesn't appeal to me, that's not my fault, and it's not a failing of anyone else. It's just that it was written or done in a certain way that the person who made it, whether it's Russell T Davies or the crew or the actors or whoever, the way that they feel it should be, it just doesn't align with the stuff that I like. But hey, one day they'll do something that really resounds with me, and I'm like, oh, that was awesome, that was incredible. Like Matt Smith, for example. After David Tennant's amazing run, I saw Matt Smith, and like a lot of people, I thought, oh, I don't know about this guy. And his era was absolutely fantastic. But there are people out there who don't believe me and don't like Matt Smith's era. See what I mean? So anyway, all I'm saying is, let's try and have like everyone chill a little bit, right? Don't join the haters, but at the same time, don't join the shippers. I hate shipping. Just enjoy what you enjoy, push the positive, talk about the positives, just ignore the negatives. Don't talk too much about the negatives. If it doesn't float your boat, like certain things about modern Doctor Who, I say modern Doctor Who, so I'm talking the last 5 or 6 years, certain things don't appeal to you, fine. Don't go online and talk about how much you hate it. Talk about bits you like. And I will talk about bits I like in coming videos. But I've got to be careful because people get far too tied into the emotion of it all. And if I say an episode was less than 10 out of 10, I'm instantly labeled a hater, which is not the case. Anyway, that's it for now. I will keep watching Doctor Who, whether it's good or bad in my estimation. I'm still hanging on for Cybermen and Daleks. And I would just like to give a shout out to the Tom Baker episode, Revenge of the Cybermen, which aired 50 years ago yesterday on the Saturday. I watched it as a kid. I must have been about 5 or 6. Stuck with me. My favourite Cybermen, my favourite Doctor Who story, my favourite Doctor. And goodness me, 50 years ago, it was half a century. We had some cool Cybermen. They had flares and wellies, but still, they were cool. Anyway, that's it for now. Take care. Be nice to each other, please. And I'll see you soon.